Watch daytime TV? Then you'll be familiar with ads like these.
Claiming is easy.
Claims management companies offering to get your PPI refunds for you. All you have to do is sit back and wait for the cheque to arrive.
Did you know that we get a cheque to people in just 8 weeks on average, Mr. Belmont?
Yes, and sometimes it only takes 10 days, Mr. Thornton.
No wonder there are so many ads like these around. Some 2 million of us were missold PPI by banks and credit companies, and there's now an estimated £4.5 billion waiting to be reclaimed. That's a lot of money, and claims management companies want a cut.
In return, they say they'll do the work for us. But do all of them deliver what they promise?
I paid £50 to Gladstone Brooks. After a couple of weeks, Gladstone Brooks came back to me and said that they couldn't do anything with my claim. I told them this was a no-win, no-fee, so I should be getting the money back. Gladstone Brooks refused, so many phone calls and many emails later, on an expensive telephone number, they finally, after a couple of months, gave me the money back.
We faced any claim. They said I would get over £6,500 back. I have not received a penny.
Lengthy waits, complicated processes, unhappy customers. But should they have even used a claims management company at all?
If you want to make a complaint about payment protection insurance, it really is straightforward, and it's certainly something that I'd advise you can do yourself. Certainly there was a period in the past before the judicial review where some banks were not dealing with complaints fairly, but that's now in the past, and so I think customers can be confident that they will get a fair deal from the banks. All you've got to do is get in touch with the bank, say you want to make a complaint about your payment protection insurance policy.
The only thing a claims management company can do is act as a middleman, contacting your bank or the financial ombudsman on your behalf.
And that's it. They can't promise to get you anything that you couldn't get if you claimed on your own. In fact, the Ministry of Justice, which regulates the claims industry, forbids companies from telling customers they'll get a more favourable outcome if they use a claims company rather than the Financial Ombudsman Service. But have all the companies been sticking to the rules?
No, as Watchdog has found out. Our researchers made 3 calls to 12 claims companies, each time posing as consumers who thought they'd been missold PPI.
Oh, hello. I've got a loan.
First up, one of the calls we made to Gladstone Brooks Limited. They advertise on TV and say they have a 92% success rate in making PPI claims.
What is the benefit of going through you rather than on my own?
It's faster and more effective. You're more likely to get the result that you're looking for, and we're more likely to get you more money than if you were to pursue it by yourself as well.
This is untrue. Banks don't pay out less to those who make their claim independently. And if people are unhappy with the bank's response, they can still appeal to the Financial Ombudsman free of charge. Other companies made similar false statements in some of the calls made to them. They included iSmart Consumer Services Limited.
What's kind of the benefit of going through you guys?
Firstly, and most simply, it's a lot easier. It's generally a lot quicker.
And Belmont Thornton.
People end up losing out by down on their own, basically.
I see.
As well as We Fight Any Claim Limited, the company promoted by professional boxing champ Joe Calzaghe.
You can try it yourself. I wouldn't advise you to. Our success rate is over 90% claims that we take on. Your chances is about 10% of doing it yourself.
Only a 10% chance? Nice claim. Pity it's wrong. One company even told us we couldn't claim on our own unless we had a Ministry of Justice licence.
Without Ministry of Justice licence, we can obtain your evidence.
Are you saying that the only reason I can't get this on my own is because you have a Ministry of Justice licence? Do I need that to get it back?
That's completely untrue.
It does make me a little bit angry, to be frank, that these customers, many of whom have already suffered from the mis-selling of payment protection insurance, are now being often missold claims management services as well.
Out of the 12 companies we called, 6 broke Ministry of Justice rules on at least 2 out of 3 calls by telling our researchers they'd get more money or get it more quickly if they used the claims company rather than claiming on their own. But what about the money they themselves stand to make? All of the companies we contacted offer a no-win, no-fee service and charge up to 30% of whatever refund we received. But We Fight Any Claim also wanted some of their fees up front.
And
So the cost for us to review your claim will be £245.
Oh, I thought this was no win, no fee.
It is no win, no fee, Sam. Basically, the way it works, if your claim would ever be unsuccessful, it's then refunded to you.
Well, thanks for the offer, but we'll pass. Toucan Claims Limited also asked for fees up front. Helen Elric paid them £249 and they promised to sort her PPI compensation.
They said it'll be about 12 weeks process, just maybe a little bit more. So we thought, great, you know, September 09, oh, by Christmas it'll be lovely.
In fact, it took them a year to process it. And when the £1,548 cheque finally arrived, Toucan didn't send it to Helen. Instead, they sent her a bill for their 10% fee, on top of the £250 she'd already paid.
So my husband and I obviously thought, oh right, well we've got this money, we'll send them the cheque, which we did, and they cashed it within 3 or 4 days. But no cheque has arrived, we're still waiting for this cheque. I feel as if I've been in one that's been ripped off here. There are times when it's gotten to me, because it's been constant.
So far this year alone, the banks have paid out £215 million to people who were missold PPI. And all the banks have jointly put aside several billion pounds to refund their customers. Some have even promised to repay eligible customers with no questions asked. Claims management companies may want a share, but if you're one of those planning to get your money back, the words of the Financial Ombudsman couldn't be clearer.
My advice, if you want to get the compensation that you're due, is to try and do it yourself.
You can find